First, a little bit about the Niagara Broadsword Academy. We were founded here in St. Catharines a couple of years ago, and we're members of the Catamaran Society, an international group that studies the Scottish Highland broadsword, also known as the claymore. This weapon was developed in the 17th century, around the time of the English Civil War, and it's one of the latest swords that was developed for battle. So it's got a couple of interesting characteristics about it, and we quite enjoy studying it in context with other historical European martial arts. The Highland broadsword, as you can see, is a little different from other swords in the fact that the hand is completely enclosed in a basket. And that's one of the charms that we find best about this particular weapon. We follow a regimental style that was followed by the British Army that was developed a little bit after this weapon. However, of course, the weapon did exist during the English Civil War and was used by the Jacobites and the Highlanders, and it has a tradition in the Highlands of Scotland used in a slightly different way. When we get you started at the Niagara Broadsword Academy, we teach you a regimental system that would be familiar to anyone who uses saber or various other weapons of the time period. So you'll be quite comfortable using the Highland broadsword, stick fighting, using saber, and various other weapons in the sort of 17th century until the end of the use of swords in battle around the late 19th century. So that's the background of what this sword is all about. Our regimental introduction introduces you to the use of the Highland broadsword and allows you to begin to use it for various reasons. For example, you might be interested in the weapon as a heritage item and as an art that you're personally invested in. You might also be interested in it recreationally. It's a lot of fun to swing around. You may be interested in it for use in, for example, the SCA or in various other exploits, film or theater or anything like that. And it will give you a really good professional look at how to use a sword safely in those contexts. And of course, if you'd like, you can join us for our sport fencing. We engage in tournaments around Canada, and we host our own tournament here in Niagara called Great Fight North. So if you're interested in it as a sport, then we have that for you. So there's lots of reasons you might come and join us, and if you do, we'll introduce you to the 6 basic lessons of our regimental introduction, and that will get you swinging the sword confidently. So we'll start you off in footwork, and we'll make sure that your foundation is laid, a strong foundation, and you know where you're standing at all times. It's very simple. There's only 3 pieces of footwork to learn, and we're going to spend a full 2 hours on that for you. Next, we're going to teach you 6 guards that will keep your entire body protected. And those guards we teach, of course, before we teach you to cut, because you got to stay alive before you can start scoring points. So we're going to go through the footwork and then the guards, and then we get to the cuts. We're going to teach you 6 cuts that correspond to those 6 guards, and we're going to get you swinging that sword effectively and safely. And then you'll be all set. With our 3 remaining weeks, we're going to refine your knowledge on those things, and we're going to go over a couple of combination techniques so that we can put those foundations together and start teaching you how to get into the more advanced and intermediary work that you can advance to later. So that's what we offer as our 6-week introductory course. And I look forward to you skipping ahead on our various videos and checking those out. But if you'd like to join us, then you can drop us a line. And this is another key point, is how we're going to function online. So if you'd like to join the Niagara Broadsword Academy, as a beginner, at the current time, we don't accept in-person lessons for beginners. Instead, we'll have you online, we'll walk you through each of our lessons online, and you'll submit a video to us that our instructors will look over for you and give personalized feedback for each video. And on top of that, we'll connect with you bi-weekly in a video chat with a small class of beginners, so that we can connect with you on a personal level and make sure that we're walking you through the things and introducing you to new things at the right pace for you. So we're going to offer those courses for the beginners, and once you're done your 6-week beginner course, then we can talk about forming an in-person class for our advanced students. If you're still remote at that point, of course we offer advanced lessons for our remote and our virtual students as well. So that's what we offer here at the Niagara Broadsword Academy. What can we expect from you? Well, it's very simple and it's easy to get started. First, we're going to send you over to our Selfie page where you'll join as a supporter. You don't need to join as a student just yet until you're engaged in those in-person classes in a proper style. Then we'll move you over there. But for now, just join us as a supporter, connect to us on our YouTube, on our email, on our Facebook, wherever it is that you've got in touch with us, and make sure you can send us those videos. So once you're connected to us on Selfie and in some sort of chat somewhere, make sure that you're connected with one of our instructors, and we'll start you on that program. Now, what you're going to need to get started is very simple and relatively inexpensive. You're going to need some shoes, okay? And you're going to need gym clothes, anything that you're comfortably wearing in your home that allows you to stretch and move freely. You're also going to need an area in your home that's at least 3 meters by 3 meters square. And that's the area that you're going to have to practice. So if that's outside, fine. If it's inside your house and you have a big enough area to practice, that's great too. You're also going to need some way to record your videos and send them to us. We really can't do feedback any other way, so we're going to need those videos from you. The last thing is you're going to need something to hold, okay? So that's going to be possibly, you can jump right in if you know that this is something that you're going to enjoy. The Castile Economy blade like this is only a couple $100. We'll send you a link to where you can pick something up like this. You can also pick up a stick for stick fighting if you're interested in getting started on that. Right away, that's a good way to go. And last but not least, while you're waiting for your stick or your sword to come in, you can swing around something like a framing hammer or something like that to give us your footwork to get started. But you will need to get a stick or a sword at some point to get started. So that's all you need: shoes, a space, gym clothes, and something to swing around. And that will get you started as a beginner. And the last thing that we expect from you is to just chip in, try to make it out weekly, try and set a clear schedule of when you're going to be posting your videos so we can reply to them, and try to make sure that you communicate with us on a regular basis so that you can keep your training up and we can keep expecting you to come out and we can keep engaged in that way. And then after 6 weeks, we'll bump you into the advanced lessons remotely, and or possibly connect you with an advanced cohort in person, and we'd love to see you there. So that's the basics of the Niagara Broadsword Academy. For today, if you're interested in getting started, you can swing on over to our footwork video and we'll get moving right away. Don't advance too quickly. I know you can just flip through those videos and do all the things that you want to do, but what we really want from you is to do one beginner video at a time, send us your work on that video, get a response from us, send possibly a correction, and then move on to the next video. So it's easy enough for you to just wing through them all and not get in touch, but we would much prefer that you do get in touch each time you do one of those videos. So thanks for checking out the Niagara Broadsword Academy. We look forward to hearing from you in the future.